So just tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running.
Okay. So, no, don't start with so. I'm Dan Wright, and I'm running for Stockton City Council District 2. I've been on the City Council since January of 2015, and I'm hoping to be reelected for another 4 years. The main reason I'm running is because there's unfinished work that needs to be done. We've done a lot, especially over the last 4 years, in addressing some of the needs we have here in Stockton. Primarily, I can speak to the issue of homelessness and housing. We've taken action to get additional funding for Stockton in both areas. We partner with multiple nonprofits to make sure that housing gets built for our neediest citizens here. On the issue of economic development, we brought a couple of Amazon warehouses in the last couple of years, and they brought nearly 2,000 jobs with them. Most of those jobs pay around $20 an hour with health benefits. That's not quite a living wage, but it was better than the 10% unemployment rate we had when I was elected, back in 2015, and much better than the 25% unemployment rate that we hit during the Great Recession. There are other things that I think you can count on me to be a leader on. One of them is the issue of literacy in our community. I was part of the Measure M steering committee that got that quarter-cent sales tax passed. That's allowing us to build a couple of new libraries in North Stockton, an area that is very short on libraries. We have the Trochee branch, but that's the only one north of Harding Way. So this sales tax will allow us to build one library on the corner of West Lane and Murata Lane, and another on the corner of Thornton and Otto. Probably we'll be starting work this spring on the West and Murata Library, and we will be probably starting work in about 3 years on the Otto Thornton branch. And then finally, I think the issue of public safety is critical to most Stocktonians. Our crime rate was far too high. Back in 2012, we set a record for homicides in this city with 72. For the last 2 years, we've been under half of that amount, and the statistics continue to drop. I think that speaks volumes of our work with our police chief. I think he's one of the best in the state, if not the country, and the work he's done in developing community policing policies, reaching out to our citizens on their level. The other area where I think you can count on me exercising some leadership is in the area of water. I'm on the Groundwater Service Agency Joint Powers Authority here in Stockton and the County Water Advisory Group. I'm the chair of our council's water committee. It's our most precious resource. I think one of the things you've seen with Stockton in particular is that we did not have some of the serious drought shortages that others had, and that's been because of some leadership that our employees in the municipal utilities division have shown, but also the work that our council has done making difficult decisions to make sure we have access to multiple sources of water.
You already mentioned several topics, including homelessness, economic development, and water. Do you see those or others as the primary issues for you in this campaign?
Homelessness and I think public safety are our two biggest issues currently. There's far too much crime in Stockton, but we're fully staffed with police officers for the first time. We have about 465 deputized officers right now. That's more than we've ever had. It's not enough, so we're going to have to find ways to, through economic development, to increase the number of police officers and firefighters that we have patrolling our streets. The issue of homelessness is one that every citizen feels on a daily basis. There's far too many homeless in our community. We've gone from 321 in 2000 in the 2017 point in time count to over 900 in the 2019 point in time count. That jibes almost exactly with an increase in the cost of rents in our community. Some of those individuals have substance abuse problems, but I guarantee you that some of them are also simply can't afford housing, and they don't have family to fall back on. And that leads them to life on the streets, which can unfortunately lead them to substance abuse problems. It's a very circular problem we're dealing with. You can edit that part out.
I have to. Oh my God! It's the movement sensor.
Yeah. Guess I'm talking too much.
No. And we'll have to edit that out. And okay. And finally, why are you the best candidate in this primary race?
I think I'm the best candidate in this primary race because I've got the experience of having been on the council now for 6 years, and a documented history of leadership both at the council level in my job as vice mayor, but also in committee work both at the county, regional, and state levels where I'm representing Stockton and advocating for our interests. I'm one of the primary individuals that participates for our city on the One Voice trip that we take to Washington, D.C. each year. And I also work with the League of California Cities for lobbying on the state level. So Stockton gets heard, at least. I think part of the concern we have about Stockton is that it's under-resourced. So if we're out there asking for resources, we may not get all of them, but we do get some of them. An example of that is last year I went on an advocacy trip to Washington, D.C., working with the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, to secure a WIFIA loan. That WIFIA loan that we're going to receive is going to save the city over $100 million over the life of the loan as we rebuild our wastewater treatment plant. So it's that kind of work that you're going to get from me, and I hope to be able to do it for another 4 years.